and welcome back. It feels like a while, but it is a while since I've actually been able to sit down and film, but my mum is downstairs with Romy, so I thought now is the chance that I can sit down and film a video. I did think for this week what I would do is just share some things that I've not expected since being a mum. When I was pregnant, I felt like I couldn't see a lot of people's experiences. I just thought I would share things that I just really wasn't expecting. I also just want to say for this video, everything that I discuss is my experience. Everybody has a different experience. All babies are different, all parents are different. So don't take everything I say as how your baby should be or how your baby will be, because that might not be the case. Okay, so the first one is sleeping patterns. When you're pregnant and you announce it to people, all you ever hear is people saying, oh well, wait until they're up all night, wait till you have no sleep, wait until you're feeling really tired. It's always how you're not gonna have any sleep at all. And that was not the case for me. Since being a newborn, Romy has slept like a dream. Obviously, when she was a newborn, I used to wake her up every 3 hours anyway for a bottle. She's now 3 months old. She sleeps all the way through the night. I never, ever, touch wood, have any issues with her sleep. I just wanted to say, like, if you are pregnant and you're nervous, thinking I'm gonna be up all night every night, that may not be the case. And the next thing that I was not expecting was, since Romy was born, we've had some belly troubles. We think she has a cow's milk allergy, so she's now on a different formula, but there's been a lot of back and forth from the doctors trying different things, and we got dismissed. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I feel very grateful that we have the healthcare that we do in the UK, but there was a lot of pushing back. There was a lot of oh, that's normal, and it wasn't. That was the most, if you are a parent and you've been told this before, you'll know how frustrating it is to be told, oh, that's normal in babies, don't worry about it, that's normal, and you know in yourself that it's not normal. So we had a lot of that. She went to the doctors, I'm pretty sure she was like a week old, and we were saying that we thought she had an issue, and we said that we think she's got an allergy, and we got told no, it's normal. And it turns out that it wasn't normal. She then went on another 2 months on regular formula, and we've only just been told that she may have a cow's milk allergy. She's now on different milk. We've got to give that a few weeks and see how she gets on with that. But I also did have a lot of mums saying to me to remember to push. If I know that there's something wrong with her, then I've got to make sure that they're listening to me and I'm telling them that there's something not right, and making sure that they're just taking me a little bit more seriously, because apparently this happens to a lot of parents, which I also didn't know. So that's just something I was not expecting. So my advice is, if you're a parent or a new parent and you know there's something wrong with your child, don't ever take anybody's advice. Don't be told it's normal if you know in your heart that it isn't normal, or your gut feeling when your baby's born. You have that instant mum instinct, so you know your child better than anyone. Don't let people say it's normal when you know that it isn't. The next point I think is actually kind of crazy to me. So you imagine your pregnancy, right? All the way back to when I first found out I was pregnant, and you think you've got this whole long journey of pregnancy, and then you've got the baby arriving, and I feel like you don't often think about the baby arriving because you're so focused on going through your pregnancy, or at least I was. So I was so focused on my pregnancy, what I was experiencing, my symptoms, all of that jazz. Then Romy was born, and it was all Romy, that I didn't think about the postpartum side. I didn't think about I had to have stitches. I didn't think about the stitches. I didn't think about making sure I was eating, making sure that I was staying hydrated. All of that just left. It just completely left my brain. I did not care. So then I ended up poorly, because I wasn't taking care of myself, because I was 110% in on Romy, making sure that she was healthy and she was fine. And obviously we're having belly issues, so when that happened, I just sort of, I don't know, I just sort of zoned out of myself for a minute. Looking back, I really felt like it was like an out-of-body experience. I was so like not in my own head. I was just trying to make Romy okay, that then I ended up not okay. which then meant I was struggling to look after her because I wasn't feeling very well. Not struggling to look after her in like a somebody needed to take her off as kind of way, but I was struggling to sit down and stuff because of my stitches that I'd had. Struggled a lot with looking after myself, and I didn't expect the postpartum care to be as important as it was, because everyone always says make sure you're looking after yourself, but then you just sort of, it goes in one ear and out of the other. Don't ever let that be a thing. Make sure that you are staying hydrated. Keep a bottle of water with you all the time. I think that was my biggest thing. I was not drinking enough water at all. Keep a bottle of water with you at all times. Make sure that you are staying healthy and hydrated. And just remember that you are, I was going to say that you're just as important as your baby, which you are, but obviously you don't see that, do you? And once you've got a baby, you don't. Just remember to look after yourself. And that was something that I didn't expect. The next point I have written down is probably one of the hardest things that I struggle with, and that is mum guilt. If you're a mother out there, I'm sure you can relate to this feeling. I feel guilty about everything. I feel guilty when I need a break. I feel guilty even saying that I need 5 minutes. Even 5 minutes to go in the shower, I feel awful. And sometimes I do feel like I need a break, and it's not a break from Romy. It's just a break from the situation. Like, I just need to sit with my own head and just sort of gather my thoughts again. Like, I feel like I need to regroup with myself. And I feel awful for ever saying that, because I've got this tiny little human that I love more than anything in the world. But I just feel like I just need to regroup, and I always struggle with letting myself be honest and saying, I just need 5 minutes and that's fine. I just need 5 minutes. And I've got my mum here right now, for example. She's more than happy to have her. Just say, can you watch Romy for 5 minutes? I'm just going to sit upstairs. And she would be fine with that. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, no, I couldn't do that. I can't do that. It's something that I've really found really hard. And I'm still on that journey of navigating where the middle ground is. So if you do have any tips on mum guilt, please let me know. And I've heard as well that it never ever leaves, so I can't wait for a long ride of that. I do find the mum guilt hard. Or even sometimes it's normal for babies to cry for no reason. And I feel awful because I'm like, I'm her mum and I should know what to do to calm her down. And sometimes I don't know. So then I end up getting myself all upset because I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm the worst mum ever because I don't know how to calm her down in this situation. And she's like, I just need a little cry, mum, and then I'm going to be fine. So that is a big thing that I am still struggling with. The next thing that I struggle with is actually more funny to talk about, but it's not funny to go through. And that is leaving the house. That is a whole can of worms to get into. Leaving the house with a baby is so hard, especially when you're on your own. I can sometimes be up and ready out the door easy. Sometimes Romy will not be put down. She's 3 months old. She doesn't want to be put down. She wants to be carried. And when I've got bottles to make and a change bag to pack, I do always have my change bag packed, but there's still last minute bits that I need to put in. And that is just such a stress sometimes. Getting her in the pram when she doesn't want to go in the pram. It can be such a task, and it's something that I just never ever thought about. I think I've heard people talking about it before, but I just didn't pay any attention to it. But it is so much harder than just leaving the house on your own. But I do have a 3-month-old, so it is sort of expected. But I just didn't even think about it when I was pregnant, that would ever even be a thing. My next point is that I just never know how my day is gonna go. My day is fully dependent on how Romy wakes up. And there's times where I have a plan of what I want to do in the day, and I can get up, get ready, and then I'm looking at her and I'm like, I'm not going out today, am I? Because she can just be like, I don't want to go out, I'm in a mood, I'm frustrated, I don't want anyone near us. She can get a bit like that. So you've just got to leave her, you've got to put a projector on, you've got to let her watch some Dancing Fruit, let her chill out, and then she might let you take her somewhere. But sometimes I just think when you've got such a young child, you never ever know, do you, how the day's gonna go, or how your week's gonna go, how the month's gonna go. You just don't know. And it's a lot of fun. It's such a whirlwind. Sometimes it's one of those things where you've got to laugh or you'll cry. And that's just what parenting is sometimes. I believe that it's not all sunshine and rainbow and roses like people like to make it out to be. And there'll be a lot of Karens in comment sections. If you're a mum and you've seen a video and you think, oh, I feel like that, and you read the comments, there can be a lot of Karens that are sort of like, you can't ever feel like this, you can't ever feel like that. It is completely normal. Everybody feels it. They probably feel it themselves, but they're just, like I say, got the mum guilt and don't want to admit it. Some days are just hard. They are. It's just part and parcel. Romy is like my dream. She's the most perfect little girl I've ever met in my whole entire life. Her behaviour for a 3-month-old is spot on. She's great, she sleeps well, she eats well, she's healthy, she's happy. I couldn't be luckier. You know, if you're a parent out there, I'm sure you'll agree, sometimes it's just hard. My next point is brain fog. So I had brain fog while I was pregnant, and then that stays with you for life apparently, which I was not expecting. I forget everything. I can like walk around and then completely forget what I'm doing, or be in the middle of making a bottle and forget what I'm doing. I've got one of those newbies to make Romy's bottles. The other day I filled it up with boiling water and was shaking it to sterilise it out, and then instead of opening the bottle and emptying it out before I put it there to dry, I opened the bottle and tipped the water all over the kitchen worktop, because in my head I had the worst brain fog ever. So I just opened it like that, boiling water all over the kitchen worktop. And sometimes things like that happen, because you know, when you've got a baby, you just never ever know, do you? You just never know. Your brain is like in autopilot, I would say. It's in autopilot, and you just sort of go, 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 go. Everything's just go. You're on the go constantly, and sometimes you're just forgetful. The last point that I have is the lack of time. I feel like I don't have enough time in the day ever. There's not enough hours at all for the things that I've got to do in a day. From the minute me and Romy wake up in the morning, it's just go, go, go. I feel like that's the moral of this video, is being a parent is just go, go, go. I just don't have time. I don't have time to shower, struggle to have time to eat. And because of my mum guilt, I don't ever like to put Romy down when she's crying. I like to be with her. Obviously, I know you don't have to put them down. That's all preference. I prefer to not leave her. I like to be with her. I like to hold her. Otherwise, she's upset. So I struggle sometimes. And not even just for like things that you have to do in the day, but sometimes at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God, I miss her. Like I've been with her all day, but like if I've had like half an hour sterilising bottles while she's asleep, I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to hold her, I want to wake her up. But you never ever wake a sleeping baby. You learnt that from Friends. You do never wake a sleeping baby. If you are pregnant and you're nervous about having a baby, you're nervous about what it entails, what it's going to be like, please do not worry. My DMs are always open if anybody ever wants to talk about anything that they're struggling with. There is no judgment there whatsoever. There's no mum guilt there. It's hard because you're going to be nervous regardless of what anybody says. In my experience, it isn't as bad as what anybody has ever said it to be. It isn't, well, it is sleepless nights at the beginning, but you don't wake up and think, I can't be bothered to do this. You just go. So then you don't even think about it. You don't have time to think about it because you've got your baby there that needs you. So you just sort of run on adrenaline. Those first few months, first few weeks is just adrenaline. So you don't really think about it. Or I didn't think about it. So just please don't worry. They're just a few of the things that I didn't expect since I've had Romy. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to give a little comment, subscribe, drop me a DM if you need any advice or if you just want somebody to talk to. And I will see you next week for another video. Fingers crossed.